Thank you, President. My adjournment matter is for the Treasurer. The Andrews government is considering borrowing or taxing more to tackle cost of living pressures. That's not my interpretation, that's a quote from The Age, reporting on this government's plan for dealing with the economic fallout of government policy. When people are suffering the most, this government responds by taking even more. It's the only thing it knows. When times are good, the government argues it can tax more because people can afford to pay. When times are bad, the government argues that it must tax more because we can't afford not to pay. It's time this government learned that the state, or a nation, cannot tax itself into prosperity. Since the start of the year, prices have started to rise rapidly. Petrol has soared past $2 a litre, and we're seeing the fastest inflation since the GFC. Petrol prices will ripple through the economy because everything relies on transport. When fuel prices go up, everything goes up. We have been subject to asset inflation for some years now as a result of low interest rates and quantitative easing, money printing. Now this is bleeding into the rest of the economy and consumer prices. What Victorians need is fewer burdens. They need lower taxes. They need the government to get off their backs. Lower fuel excise, lower rates, lower income tax, lower payroll tax, lower housing taxes, cheaper fees and a smaller government. When times are hard and money is tight, we need to be more careful with our spending. We don't need more taxes. And to be clear, to borrow without new revenue, to add to the deficit, will only fuel this inflation that is already set to run wild. The print and stim COVID stopgap has run dry, and now we're suffering the hangover from excessive spending and bloated government. We said this would happen, and now it's happening. It's not a surprise, and it's not all down to the war in Ukraine. I call on the Treasurer to immediately reduce the tax and inflation burden carried by working Victorians, not to increase it.